We're on rotation 6. LSU on the vault, the Gators on the bars, and the Georgia Gym Dogs finish up their final rotation on the beam. But for LSU tonight, what a night. Ashleigh Clare-Kearney trying to become the first Tiger since 1991 to bring home the all-around title.
LSU said they came to compete like they're crazy, and that's exactly what Ashleigh Clare-Kearney has done. She has been their source of stability all night. 3 strong events, powerful tumbling on the floor, and just one more to go.
A 9.875 on the bars, 9.85 on the beam, 9.95 on the floor, and now she's set for her best event, the vault.
Another one of those athletes we have seen score a perfect 10 this year. Some incredible power. Performing layout full, scored out of a 10, obviously. Executed very well. Almost a hop on the landing, but she fought for it. Very little deduction there. Now she is training a 1.5, but both the full and the 1.5 are scored out of a 10, so why take the risk? She is training it, though, for the National Championship Finals.
9.925, so she has an overall all-around score of a 39.6. Georgia, after a 1-year absence with not having an SEC championship trophy in Athens, looking to bring it back. This is their final step. They need a solid performance here on the beam. And up first, they have Nikki Childs, a senior.
Childs was the athlete first up on bars for Georgia who missed her routine. She's trying to prove a little something here with her balance beam. Back handspring layout, solid and confident. Switch ring. Very nice performance style. Into a front aerial, trying to dance through a potential wobble. Keeps the routine moving, and that's definitely pleasing. There's not a lot of stops and starts. There's her signature moonwalk. The crowd loves it. Throw back to Michael Jackson. Pushing through to the dismount. Back handspring, gainer full. Hops on the landing, gives away about a 1/2 tenth right there. Barely takes time to set up for the dismount, and most of her skills throughout this routine, and that kept the rhythm moving, and it really shows that she's confident on this event as well.
But for Nikki Childs, what a comeback after a fall on the bar. She scores a 9.85 on the beam. Gators up next on the bars. Wanda Fain's squad trying to win back-to-back championships, but not taking anything for granted.
It's really important that we stress with our athletes that this year is a brand new year, and to not rely on last season and winning last year. Knowing that we're the defending champions, that should bring inspiration and confidence as far as knowing that we're capable of doing that again and repeating. However, you just never really want to rely on that, because the second you do that, you're lost.
That SEC win is something they will always own and be proud of, but they're keeping it in perspective, knowing this is a new year. They must prove themselves again.
Maranda Smith is up first on the bars. Last year, she competed for UCLA.
With the Shaposhnikova. Out bar to Kachev. Handstand to handstand on the low bar. To handstand. So far clean and doing a great job with her handstand work. Here's the dismount, a double front with a 1/2 out, almost fine for landing. 1/10 deduction on the step, but a clean routine. Had some nice difficulty and some nice combinations in the routine. And of course, I love the dismount where she adds a 1/2 turn to the double front.
And a score of a 9.825. The Gators will continue on the bars in the 6th rotation after this. Rotation continuing here in the 2008 SEC Gymnastics Championship. And Nicola Willis up next for the Gators on the bars. She represented Great Britain at the 2004 Olympic Games.
athlete with tremendous experience at the highest level. Will pay off here in this high-pressure competition.
He's a senior now and had 4 collegiate best marks set this season.
Giant full into her Ginger release element. The dismount, gaining speed in the Giants. It's double layout. She nails the landing. Outstanding routine. You know, I think Florida hoped to pick up more ground on their floor and vault, so they need to keep pushing forward with great routines like this. Georgia's great bars puts a little pressure on them. Nice combination of a giant full to a Ginger release element, getting combination bonus, and that all adds up.
9-9, that'll help for the Gators. Nicola Willis back to the beam. And Grace Taylor, second at the NCAA championships last year on this apparatus.
This is a high score of a 9.9975, and Suzanne told me she believes Grace will score a perfect 10 at some point in her career. She's really beautiful on this event when she's on. Take a look at the tumble series here. A little bit unique. She does a one-arm back handspring into a layout that lands 2 foot. Doing a back handspring with one arm, it takes it from a B-level skill to a C-level skill. Nice execution in her jumps. A switch leap to a straddle jump, getting that full split, and again, showing off her tremendous flexibility right there. And she enjoys wowing the crowd. Turn leg above horizontal in connection to a gainer layout. Wobble there. This is Georgia's final competitive event. They need to rack up as many points as possible because the next rotation, they will be sitting out on the bye and there's nothing that they can do. Concentration before the dismount. She tumbles into it. 2 back handsprings. The last one is 2 foot into a double twist. Nails the landing. Just that one wobble in the routine. Outstanding. Here's that tumble series. She does a one-arm back handspring on her right arm into a layout, landing 2 foot. She's aggressive.
SEC Gymnastics Championship. Georgia on the beam. Katie Heenan looking for her 3rd SEC all-around title. Remember, in 2005, she finished with a career-high 9.95 on the beam to win the title for the Georgia Gym Dogs. Trying to wrap up her senior year and bring home the individual and the team title.
Series coming up, back handspring, layout, no problem.
She needs a 9.875 to tie the current score by Ashleigh Clare-Kearney. A 9.9 would put her in the overall lead for the all-around.
Of course, a 9.9 is definitely a capable score for Katie Heenan. 2005, she scored a 9.95. As mentioned, which also gave her the beam title. Solid front tuck. Hard full turn. Definitely needs to nail this landing to get the 9.9. Sticks a double twist out of a round off, a little bit of a leg deduction in the air. Another look at that tumble series. She sits back nicely into the back handspring, travels down the beam, stays square, and a solid landing.
And the score is so close, 9.850, so not enough to move ahead of Ashleigh Clare-Kearney. But still, for the team score, certainly helping out. A lot of good scores posted by Georgia. Back to the Gators, who are on the bars. And currently, this is Melanie Sinclair, who's going to wrap up this routine.
Outstanding. Hindorf to start the routine off. The Gators are trying to get back on track after their last athlete suffered a fall. The second release element is called a Ginger. Excellent job on her last handstand. Here comes the dismount. She just attacks it. It's a double layout, nails the landing. That's the way to pull the Gators up.
What a finish for Melanie Sinclair as a redshirt freshman. She was 5th at the NCAA championships in this event.
Her confidence on this event is just outstanding. Beautiful height and distance on that inboard. She takes it straight up, counter rotates, and regrafts very nicely with plenty of swing.
A score of a 9.950 keeps the Gators in contention for the team title. And finally up on beam for the Georgia Gym Dogs, Courtney McCool, Olympic silver medalist in Athens.
Doing a mount that's named after her, called the McCool, wobbles out of it, trying to connect the double stag jump. Beautiful execution of her front aerial into a back handspring layup, but wobbles again there. Georgia cannot compete beam just to stay on. They need to execute. They need to minimize those wobbles and gain every 10th they can. Remember, they will be sitting out that final rotation. While Alabama is on the vault, while Florida is finishing on the balance beam. Turn, leg up. On her switch side, again looking for that full split position. With the music in the background, that is someone performing their floor routine. We talked earlier about this being a 3-ring circus, so much going on, cheers coming from the crowd. At any moment in your routine, you must stay focused. Dismount, double fold, beautiful landing. Another great landing for Georgia, but a few wobbles throughout the routine here. This is the 6th and final hit for Georgia on the beam, but again, we saw a few wobbles throughout their beam lineup. It'll cost them a couple tenths, something that they cannot afford to give away at this point. Beautiful job with the front aerial into the back handspring layup, but again, 1/10 deduction on the wobble.
A score of a 9.875 for Courtney McCool. So the Georgia Gym Dogs, they've got the clubhouse lead. The score to beat to win the SEC championship, 197.35. The Gators and the Alabama Crimson Tide will have a chance to go after that in the 7th and final rotation. But for Georgia, LSU, and Arkansas, time to sit back and relax. Rotation 7 will come right after this.